What's up, guys? My name is Billy Kemper. The Backdoor Shootout holds so much weight as an event in surfing. It's different than a WSL event. You know, when you think of like historic or iconic events in surfing, there's really like two, and it's the Eddy and the Shootout. It was known to be the highest paid contest for years in the past. This was before WSL, you know, in the ASP days. The Shootout is one of the most prestigious events, if not the most, in surfing. And having the best barrel riders from the entire world, you know, this isn't just the North Shore or just Hawaii's best. It's the entire world. There's something special with the Shootout. Every year, it just gets us a couple wild days of surf. It's always huge. It's always gnarly, but there's always perfect rides in that event. And Mother Nature takes care of that event every year and blesses us with beautiful waves. It's 8 teams, and you're up to 5 guys on a team. You surf with your team. There's no priority. It's always your top 3 scores. It's a leaderboard situation. So each heat, every different team, those scores are going up. The teams are rising, and so are the individual leaders. And I think you need to surf a minimum of 3 or 4 times. I think we surfed 4 sessions. So if the event doesn't get 4 or 5 days to run, whoever's at the top of that leaderboard will be crowned the champion. There's a team winner, there's a trophy, the team wins, but as far as a competition, it's the individual winner who gets the big check. And that's what everyone's there for, is the individual winner. This year, the Shootout, it was totally different for me. And I've been surfing on the Hui Wax team for years, and this year that team wasn't there, and I actually wasn't even in the event. And I was talking to Uncle Eddie basically the week before, like, I'll pay anything to be in this event. You know, it's the best event in surfing, in my opinion. And unfortunately, one of the Peruvian kids, Joaquim, took a very, very bad fall and broke his pelvis just a few days before. And I'm really close with Gabriel Villaron and Cristobal. And they basically were like, hey, come surf with us. I was so stoked and honored. So huge thanks to them. And, you know, going into the event, like, you know, seeing the swell, and also for me last year, yeah, it was a violent fall that I took. It was a bad wipeout. I knocked out for a second, and I haven't really surfed a big day out at Pipe since I was hurt. You know, my foot was broken. I broke the 5th metatarsal, which is like the pinky of your foot, but up in the center. I broke that thing clean in half, and it broke in a foot strap towing this wave. I got caught, the wave guillotined me from behind and snapped forward. So it's like anything of my foot rolling forward, that's like what I'm terrified of. And I feel like if that was to happen, it'd probably be going right. And just knowing that in my mind, it's a little just uncertain in certain areas. So there's so much going on in my mind that kind of at the same time maybe took away from that like haunting vibe from last year. Just a few weeks prior to this event was the Pipe Masters. You know, obviously making the final of the Pipe Masters was a lot of confidence, and not falling in that event also kind of was a bit weird because I didn't know what that feeling was if I did fall on like a proper pipe or backdoor wave. So it was a little, you know, not the greatest mindset going into it, but after a few waves, you know, just being out there, once I get to the water, it's like, I don't know, I feel so much weight off my shoulders that all the nerves and everything kind of just disappear, and I just get into my own zone. And the first day of the event, I opened up my heat, I think, with a left. It was like a 7, and then I got a backdoor right at the very end of that heat. That was my second highest score. At the beginning of this heat, I paddled for a right, and there was a backwash. I could see the wrinkle coming up the face, and I didn't go. And it haunted me, kind of f***ed me the whole heat. The wave looked nuts. I just completely was scared. I was like, whoa. I pulled back and I was like, oh my God, that was a score. Like that was a real wave. And a minute left, this right comes to me. And as soon as I stood up, I got to my feet, I was like, oh, I have a full easy entry. And right as I engaged my inside rail, I just felt like a buckle. I was like, whoa, what is that? And it was a full like backwash that hit the lip of the wave. And I felt it launch me, but my board stuck to my feet really well. And as soon as my tail touched the wave, I was like, oh, my feet are perfectly placed. As the nose and the inside rail hit, boom, there was like no second of hesitation into a pump. And when I felt where my feet were on the board, just like, you know, a blessing from God. Like my feet stayed right where they need to be, stuck the air drop, woof, woof, 3-4 pumps. And I knew if I could see it was gonna close out, so I had the doggy door, and I felt the spit just inhale, and then poof, it just blew me right out perfectly. Like that, for me, that was almost like one of the best waves I've had in years. Not saying it was the best quality wave or the biggest barrel or the deepest barrel, but just like where I'm at in life right now. I'm not like, I'm chasing the ride of my life. Like every day I'm surfing, but that was like, I needed that in winter. A big backdoor wave, like a heavy drop, and land it, stick it, poof, pump, blown out. That wave felt really good as far as like getting a monkey off my chest, just like, poof, okay, I'm back. Even though I got some great waves in the Pipe Masters, that right at backdoor was like, okay, I'm good to go. Other heat I didn't even stand up on a wave. Then the final heat of the event for me, within the last 10 seconds, I dropped a 10. It was the high score of the event, and then that was it. That was 3 scores for me, 3 waves and 3 scores. This goes very, very high on the wall for me as far as like what I've accomplished in surfing. Like it's hands down that and my world title cup, like those are the best trophies I have. So that says a lot. Really, really stoked to win that event, start the year like that after kind of starting the year with a broken foot. It really felt good to just like, you know, ride, not only win, but just ride some really good waves, like waves that I'll remember for the rest of my life. That's what surfing's about, you know? It's like, okay, yeah, these big checks and wins, they're unbelievable, but it's about riding waves that are gonna be with you forever, and I got a couple waves in that event that will be with me, so I'm super, super honored and stoked. The first day of the event, I rode a 6'8 W4X, and that was shaped by Glen Pang, Town & Country. That's my go-to pipe board. It's got a lot more foam up under the chest and like a pulled down rail. I probably would have rode a 6'6", but the fact of just like, you know, kind of coming back from a broken foot, in waves like that I would normally be riding a 6'6", I rode the 6'8", just to keep me a little more patient and like, I don't know, I felt like it would make me just be a little more precise on the waves that I did pick. And you know, it worked out to my benefit. I was a lot more patient. I made good decisions, not too many bad ones, and that's, you know, sometimes that's all it takes, is being patient and really waiting for the ones that count. And that board, 6'8", felt really, really good. Like I mean, yeah, that's the finals of the Pipe Masters and the shootout win on the 6'8". That big day, the last day of the event, I rode a 6'10", same model, W4X from Glen Pang, TNC shapes. Yeah, me and Glenn, like every year I feel like we make like really small tweaks to what we're doing, like just minor adjustments, and it's really more foam distribution. Like he has the concave, the outline, you know, everything, the fin placement, the board's magic. It's just like, where can we put foam that's gonna benefit us the most? Goals for 2024 are be more patient with my kids, spend more time being present with my family. Those are definitely like the first 2 things I think about. And just really enjoying surfing. Like I've struggled through some serious injuries and just like pushed through some pain and situations that really take a lot of the fun away from it. And like, yeah, for 2024, I wanna have fun. I wanna chase really good waves. If events run, I'm ready to compete. I'm so excited to put a jersey on, you know, whether it's Jaws or the Eddie, like those 2 events right now for me those are more than world titles. Like if those events run, those are the top of the totem pole as far as what I'm after in life. I I want to win both those events, and that would mean the world to me. And yeah, just keep chasing swells and really enjoying life with my family. The one thing, like for me, when I think of the backdoor shootout, I think about my brother Eric Diaz, and which is really cool because like the most iconic photo of my brother is he's riding a Town and Country. Watching him compete in this event when he was 16, like I was 6 years old. Like those are some of my first memories of life, were watching the backdoor shootout. And when my brother surfed pipe, I thought of like Mike Tyson, just like real raw and like, you know, not holding back, going all out, all in, whether it's backdoor pipe. And yeah, that's as far as, you know, one thing about the shootout, like it brings back so much memories of my brother Eric. When I look at the backdoor shootout, you know, what Eddie Rothman has done, not only for myself, but our community, the culture of surfing, like I gotta thank Eddie Rothman, like I really do. Thank him for putting on the greatest event in surfing. And also Antti Mahina, Chillingsworth, all the Hui Backdoor Club, like thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. And also everyone around here, the community, the Chandler family, my wife, my kids, just everyone, you know, Kala Grace, Kahea Hart. There's so many people who've helped push me, the Sujiharas, Glenn, Pat Tenori, just everyone who's pushing me. I'm really grateful. So thanks to everyone who's helped me, supported me, and been a fan of what I do. Thank you guys.